efforts to fight climate change see more research and investments. 2/3 of Kenya's electricity is generated from renewable and clean energy sources. Of this, wind power accounts for 15%, that translates to 435 megawatts, while solar accounts for just fewer than 2% of the total installed capacity of 51 megawatts. Electricity Sector Association of Kenya chairperson George Aluru says harnessing energy storage technologies will greatly help Kenya increase its electricity generation from these reliable and efficient renewable energy sources. The Ministry of Energy in 2019 released the Least Cost Power Development Plan 2021 to 2030, which features prominently in the Generation Capacity Expansion Plan, which includes 50 megawatts of battery energy storage systems in the generation mix by the end of this year, with the number expected to rise to 250 megawatts by 2026. Kenya aims to improve energy reliability by updating and expanding the national power transmission and distribution network and connecting 2 million new consumers under the Energy Master Plan. There is no current framework in place for the integration of battery energy storage systems in the country's generation mix, with IPPs saying there is a need to integrate the use of battery energy storage systems technology. Nduta Mokami for Lunchtime News.
Meanwhile, the United Arab Emirates plans to build a new Red Sea port in Sudan as part of a $6 billion investment package that includes a free trade zone, a large agricultural project, and an imminent $300 million deposit to Sudan's central bank. Here are the details of the story and much more across Africa.
Western donors suspended billions in aid and investment to Sudan after the coup, plunging an economy that was already struggling into further turmoil and depriving the government of much-needed foreign currency. The $4 billion port would handle all kinds of commodities and compete with the country's main national port, Port Sudan. The package includes a free trade zone, a large agricultural project, and an imminent deposit of $300 million to the Central Bank of Sudan. This would be the first large deposit to the bank since the October 25th military coup, after which a lot of financial aid and investments from Western donors was suspended. This plunged Sudan's already struggling economy into more turmoil and deprived the government of much-needed foreign currency. Elsewhere, Egypt, Lebanon and Syria have signed an agreement to transport 650 million cubic meters of gas annually from Egypt to Lebanon via Syria. Under the agreement, the gas will be pumped through a pipeline to the Deir Ammar power station in northern Lebanon, where it can add about 450 megawatts to the grid, equivalent to about 4 additional hours of electricity per day. To ease the power crunch, a plan was floated last year for Lebanon to receive electricity from Jordan and natural gas from Egypt, both via Syria, which would add up to 700 megawatts to Lebanon's grid. Finally, amid fuel scarcity re-emerging in states such as Abuja, Oyo and Lagos, the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria has lamented the displeasure of its members to operating under harsh conditions. Long queues have returned to several areas due to the closure of some petrol stations emanating from the scarcity of the product.
In sports, the Kenya Judo Federation has a busy calendar lined up this year, which will be used as pre-qualifiers for Paris Olympics in 2024. They will host the Africa Junior and Cadets Championships for the first time at Kasarani next month, before the Africa Senior Judo Championship next year in May. Countries which have expressed participation in the Cadets and Junior Championship include, among others, Algeria, Tunisia, Cameroon, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, Senegal, and South Africa, who will use the championship to qualify for their World Championship in Poland in October this year. The seniors will use the Africa event to qualify for their World Championship in Uzbekistan. The Kenya judokas, on the other hand, have earned themselves a scholarship to a 3-month camp in Budapest in preparation for the World event, where they are expected to better their performance. The Kenya judokas to the 2022 Commonwealth Games are expected to join their compatriots in the Budapest camp before they head to Birmingham for the Games.
He's the African champion in the plus 78 kgs, Perista Busire, and the man is plus 100. silver medalist.
In my first appearance in Commonwealth, I think people should be hopeful because we are representing, we know that we have more than 45 million people on our shoulders. We have to make sure that the Kenya flag flies high. And this time round in judo, we are going to see change. And if it's not gold, then it's gold.
With the preparation, I'm hopeful for a medal, and especially I want to go for a gold medal. Being my first experience, I want it to have an impact.
To KJA, they have been supporting us. I think all the games which we have gone, they have been supporting us through the government. Of course, you can't forget the government has been really supporting us.
Kwa saa hii mazoezi si mbaya, mazoezi iko sawa, coaches wako sawa, natupea mazoezi ya kutosha, techniques. Hatukuwa tunajua techniques mingi, lakini saa hii tuna catch up pole pole. Saa hii tuko karibu kila siku tunaendelea kusoma vitu mpya. So ile yenye tunatarajia mbele, tunatarajia tuende tucheze mzuri na tuletee Kenya gold.
And National Olympic Committee of Kenya has launched the Archery Sport for Peace project in Mount Elgon area, Bungoma County, with inter-county competitions beginning today. 80 participants from 8 counties of Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Teso, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Uasin Gishu, Baringo and Nandi have converged at Mayuba Stadium in Sirisia sub-county for the training. The program aims at converting cultural practices of using bows and arrows for hunting and cattle rustling into modern sports. The second part of the project will be launched in Kajiado in July. Away from that, Serena Williams made her return to the tennis court almost exactly a year since her last competitive match, and just weeks after many had predicted the 23-time Grand Slam singles champion would never play again. The 40-year-old American teamed up with Tunisia's Ons Jabeur in the Eastbourne doubles, and the pair won their opening match in an entertaining evening. Next week, Williams is hoping to play in the singles at Wimbledon, where she has won 7 of her major titles. Thank you so much for staying with Lunchtime News. We have come to the end of our bulletin, but more news on our website at www.kbc.co.ke. Anne Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter. I am Nissy Imano. Good afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Every day, we empower our members to unite, to inspire, to triumph.